Now, when we first found out a few months ago that Rooster Teeth will be shutting down, one question that a lot of people asked that seemed to be on everybody's mind was, what's going to happen with RWBY? Okay, at the time, during these lengthy goodbye streams that Rooster Teeth did, the question came up a few times. They couldn't really give a concrete answer. And that makes a lot of sense because at the time, they simply didn't know the property, the brand RWBY, was under the umbrella of Rooster Teeth. And at that time, it would probably die and go away with Rooster Teeth. But we now have an update about that. Just yesterday, there was a post on the official RWBY Twitter account in which Carrie and Barbara give a little bit of an update. So in this video, I want to look at this update and then read a few of the responses by the fans, okay? Just go to Reddit and check out what fans have to say, because I'm going to be upfront with you guys. I don't watch RWBY. I know of the show. I see discussions and debates going on our Discord. By the way, join our Discord if you want to talk RWBY, if you want to talk Rooster Teeth. The debate is not dead yet, okay? So, but what I can always see, and feel free to disagree with me there in the comments. Again, I'm not following that closely, but what I can see from the debates on our Discord is that a lot of people say, well, I like the show, I like the characters, but the last few seasons were really, really not that great, okay? At least they were not as great as the early seasons created by Monty Ohm and his team. So I even saw a few posts where people were like, yeah, maybe it's time for it to go, okay? That's just what I saw over on our Discord. Feel free to share your thoughts on the future of RWBY down in the comments here. But let's check out this video. It's just 1 minute and 14 of Barbara Dunkelman and Carrie kind of breaking down what the future of RWBY might be. Let's take a look.
Hey everybody, my name's Carrie Shawcross.
I'm Barbara Dunkelman.
And we have some exciting news for you today. I know a lot of you have been wondering what's going to happen with RWBY, and we finally have an answer. RWBY has found a new home with Viz Media.
Woo!
I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry. I love Barbara Dunkelman. Okay, she's great. Big fan of the Rooster Teeth podcast and all that. But bro, the cringe, man. The cringe.
I'm very excited.
Me too.
Obviously, and I know you guys will all be very excited. What this means is Viz Media will be the home to the RWBY franchise. So that includes production, distribution, licensing, consumer products, and more.
As you can tell, we're very excited about this. This is a huge opportunity to grow our audience and expand into the future. In talking with Viz, they're also very excited about this. They obviously care about where the show is now, but they also care about where it came from, and they want to make sure that we can continue this story.
We are currently...
We can continue the story. So that kind of indicates that they're not putting together a new team. It's just me reading into what they're saying. But it sounds like they're not putting together a new team. They want to bring back the people that worked on it previously. Is that the best idea? Let me know in the comments.
In talks with them about RWBY's future, and we are very hopeful for what's to come for this beloved series. So excited to work with Viz Media and to see what's next for RWBY.
For more information on this and all things RWBY going forward, you can go to Viz's official blog post at viz.com/RWBY. That's the RWBY one, not the RUBY one.
You guys should know that by now.
Yeah.
Viz will be posting more information on all things RWBY, so stay tuned for updates.
And thank you so much for supporting us over the years. It's what's gotten us here, and it's what's going to continue to propel RWBY in the future. So thank you all so much, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So look, this is big news for RWBY fans, and I'm not trying to be negative here. If you're a big RWBY fan, this is obviously great. You're going to be excited to get more content out of the show, and the legacy and, you know, the story will continue. That's great. But bro, there just seems to be like a certain tone of voice after Rooster Teeth has announced that it will shut down. There's a tone of voice to all these announcements and all these podcasts and everything that is so far removed from what Rooster Teeth used to be. And I just watch it as someone who was a fan, like I said, of the podcast at the time. And it just feels so disconnected from where they used to be that it just gives me a physical sensation of cringe to see these videos. But, you know, again, it's good news for all the RWBY fans. Let's read some of the replies from the actual fans and see how this news has been received and how the community reacts to it. So Cynthia apparently went to this website they just announced and shouted out, viz.com was it, /RWBY, and copied this little part of the Q&A. And it says here, has RWBY Volume 10 officially been confirmed, so the new season? And the answer is there's no news yet for a new season of RWBY. Please follow the official RWBY's X account Facebook page for the latest updates. So speculating that we're not going to see a new season of RWBY at least until 2030. Now obviously this is slightly exaggerated, but it's true that this doesn't sound like they're already working on it and later this year we're going to get suddenly a new episode. And I think like so it seems to be quite the far future. But then someone replies here and says season 10 has already had writing work done on it at least, so they generally know where they want to go, I'm sure. So I'd give it maybe another 2 or 3 years before they finalize red tape and such, but they're definitely going to want a main season to help kick things off. I doubt 2030, but maybe 2026, something like that. And obviously here on Twitter, lots of RWBY fans, people excited, you know, oh God, let's go, this is huge. yeah, yes, some people are less excited. But overall, like, the feedback is good and everyone's happy that there is an afterlife, so to say, for RWBY. But let's check out the RWBY Critic subreddit, okay? Which is a more critical subreddit where people are a little bit more open and go beyond just saying, wow, this is the best thing that has ever been conceived by humanity. And here you get comments like this one. Carrie coming back, and this I think is one of the most upvoted comments. Carrie coming back is already a red flag. Let's hope Viz manages the series better than Rooster Teeth ever did. And at the very least, don't bring the rest of RWBY back. Ugh. It looks like Miles and Kieran are gone. Carrie and Eddie get to stay. Seems like Viz doesn't want all the RWBY at least. Now, I don't know where Writing Sanity got this information from, but if that's true, it seems like that Viz Media is doing a little bit of a cleanup job. They keep some of the people, which does make sense, right? Because people like Carrie obviously really know the brand, know the character, know all the seasons, the storylines. So it would make sense to have someone like that on board, just even if it's just for like consulting and bouncing off ideas. But judging from this, if it is correct, it seems like they're not taking over the whole previous team. Oh yeah, and someone points it out here as well. Carrie at 37. And they want to make sure that we continue this story. God damn it. That hit me as well. I was like, all right, so that really indicates that they want that team to stay, at least Carrie to stay. And from reading from this, it just sounds like a lot of people don't want him to stay. Again, explain that to me down in the comments, okay? Give me the background I need about that. My dudes, Viz Media is a distributor and licensing company. They are not producers, said the Morrison77. There's a chance they will greenlit a Volume 10 eventually, yes. But most likely they want the IP streaming rights and merchandise. Oh, that disarms the announcement a little bit if that's true. So they're not even a production house. So again, they probably will need to produce some form of season 10 just to please people and give like the signal of saying, you know, RWBY is back and all that. But then overall, they might just own the franchise and rent it out to big streaming services and try to cash in on it as much as they can. Basically, create an investment, you buy that IP, and then you rent it out and try to make more money back with that investment. It might just be that. I totally see them launching a comic/manga continuation, but a new volume, that's more difficult. Imagine the first thing they're doing is put RWBY in Fortnite. RWBY characters in Fortnite, Jesus. I think that wasn't entirely serious. But nothing's off the table at this point. Joe228 says, I can't wait for RWBY fans to realize this means paying huge subscription prices, even worse than Rooster Teeth, to access the show. Seriously though, this is going to be a massive financial loss for them. Idiotic decision to license a show that killed its parent company. I don't think you can say that RWBY specifically killed Rooster Teeth, that there was much more to that story. And someone replies here as well saying, honestly, RWBY was one of the only things that was keeping Rooster Teeth afloat for years. What with the decline of Red vs. Blue, the money sink of Genlock, scandals, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a fair point to make. I think this person sounds a bit bitter to me, personally, but what can I say? Now, here's some debate going on whether it's actually better that Viz Media owns this compared to Warner Bros. Owning it previously, and whether this will actually have a positive impact on the show and on new episodes, new content around the characters and so on. And then someone says, well, it's either this or no RWBY at all, which is probably true. And, you know, no RWBY at all, that is what it is. You just wouldn't get any more content. Nothing new would ever come out of it, which is not great. At least this gives us, or gives the brand RWBY the chance to become something new, to reinvent itself, to build on what they previously had to become better. From what we just read, it doesn't sound like it's a huge chance. Like, it doesn't sound like we're gonna go into like the next decade of RWBY episodes and 10 more seasons. But in a way, it is better than having no RWBY at all, in my opinion, right? I think the fans would probably agree that giving Viz Media a chance to do something with the franchise is better than just burying it and never seeing anything from it again. I mean, you can make the case against that as well. Like with, for example, something like Star Wars, right? Is it actually better that Star Wars is what it is right now under Disney? And there's a lot of garbage, in my personal opinion, coming out of that franchise. So maybe you can make the argument to say it would have just been better to let it die at the point where it was before Disney bought it. You know, that's an argument you can make. It's opinion-based, obviously. But even in that scenario, you can make the point and say, well, we still have the original Star Wars, the original RWBY content that everyone loves. And even if season 10, for example, is garbage and they make season 11 and 12 and they are garbage, fine. You know, it's not great, but at least we have season 1 to 9 or whatever your favorite seasons are of RWBY that we can treasure, and we gave it another chance and we just didn't bury it. So again, leave your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. Do you think this is a move that's probably better for RWBY, that there will be a future in some shape or form, or should they just let it go, bury it, considering where it previously was, considering that it will be co-produced, made, written, whatever it is, by Carrie? What in your mind would be the better scenario? Again, leave that down in the comment section below. Now, Smooth Garden here points out that now RWBY got owned by a Japanese company, and it might be the best thing he heard since blah blah blah. At least Monty would have been proud to have his dream project be an anime or made into one. But that's not correct based on my research, because if you go to Google and just search for Viz Media, you find out that Viz Media LLC is an American entertainment company with its headquarters in San Francisco, California, focused on publishing manga and distribution and licensing Japanese anime films and television. So it does license and distribute Japanese content, it seems like, but it sounds very much like it's an American entertainment company. The CEO sounds very Japanese. Well, actually, it's a mixture, right? Ken Sasaki. He's probably Japanese. There he is. Yes, he's definitely Japanese. But they've been founded in San Francisco and their headquarters in San Francisco. And, so I'm not sure that is accurate, that they're a Japanese company, so to say. Says Times Tide. Carrie is still involved, which is a bit disappointing. I fear they'll continue the V10 pathway. I was hoping for some fresh blood to take over the series and reboot from the ground up. Ooh, okay, that would have been significant. But I think that's unlikely at this point. Oh well, my time with the series has passed anyway, and at the very least I'm happy for those who wanted RWBY to stay involved and for the original story to carry out, got what they wanted. That's what it says. It's interesting for them to say, why don't they consider like a full reboot? Like a just full restart of this, like starting with a new season 1, obviously similar characters, maybe slightly different art style, make it into something else. Just take this universe and build something new on it. But considering that Carrie is still involved, that's probably very unlikely. Someone mentioned earlier as well that the writing for season 10 is kind of at least underway or done to some extent. So I guess this whole reboot thing, at least in the foreseeable future, is not going to happen. Shadow Cressy says, honestly, I think this is the best possible outcome for RWBY. It is not some small company or someone who isn't known. Viz is actually established and a very large distributor. Plus, given what they do, they really care about their products too. So that means more money for them to actually use that they actually have. LOL. They're not in huge debt like other companies. I can't think of any right now, but you get the idea. We might hear something soon, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm cautiously optimistic. Well done, RWBY. Well done. Well, there you have it, guys. That's the update. I promised you that I would keep you updated on everything happening around Rooster Teeth. It's not a lot that's happening these days for obvious reasons, but still, if stuff will come out in the future, I will make sure to cover it on this channel. So stay tuned, subscribe, smash the like button if you enjoyed this video, show it to me that way, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out. Bye.